Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We are here with Dorsey. She runs Milk and Honey Wellness, and she's also a wellness coach. Actually, tell me the term.
Nutrition and lifestyle coach.
Nutrition and lifestyle coach. So she's here to talk to us all about the holidays. We've been focusing a lot on healthy food choices during this show, and she's here to give us some even more tips and tricks. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. I always love coming up here.
Thanks for coming. So what you've brought some options for us.
Yes. So I made a pumpkin fudge. I like to call them my pumpkin kisses. So I love these because they're really easy snacks to make, and they're really healthy fats, so they'll keep you full and feeling satiated as you get your day going on Thanksgiving, so you're not overeating before and maybe also snacking on crackers and cheese balls and all of that stuff. So what I put in here is I did coconut oil, and then we also, coconut oil, pumpkin, cashew butter, almond butter. If you want to add a little extra treat, you can add white chocolate chips in it if you want. And then I just use silicone molds to put them in and put it in the freezer about, I don't know, 2 to 4 hours or overnight, whatever works for you. But literally just melt it on the stovetop and just slow heat, pop them in the molds, and you're done. So super easy. And then I made a pumpkin pie, and I wanted to just show you guys that even if you're not a baker and you don't, maybe it's like not your favorite thing to hang out in the kitchen all day on Thanksgiving, it doesn't mean that you can't make a healthier version of some of your favorite Thanksgiving foods. So when I did the pumpkin pie, I just did a lighter version of things. So I used a pumpkin puree. You can also, if you are a foodie and love to be in the kitchen, you can make your own pumpkin, roast your pumpkin and blend it up. But you can also just get canned pumpkin. Just get plain old pumpkin though, no added spices or sugar or anything like that.
I've had that problem before. I think, oh, pumpkin pie, that's what I want. But that's not usually, for some things maybe, but not usually when you're doing pumpkin pie.
Not when you're doing pumpkin pie. And also you just want to know what's in it, right? Like I like to control what's in the food, and then I know that it's a healthier version of the things I love. So like for my Cool Whip or whatever, you can make your own whipped cream, but if you want to go quick and easy, I love the True Whip because it has no high fructose corn syrup, no hydrogenated oils. You can just grab it and go. It's non-GMO. And then for a pie crust, you can grab an already made pie crust. I grabbed a gluten-free pie crust, and it's an all butter pie crust. It's organic. So, it's not about deprivation and not having things. It's just, a little bit thinking about it and having a smarter approach, and then making a healthier version.
Well, and I've seen gluten-free pie crust. Well, this one is gluten-free, isn't it? Because it's all butter. Yeah. As well as whole wheat pie crust? You
can do a whole wheat pie crust if you do eat grains, which is awesome. There's gluten-free pie crusts. You can do coconut oil pie crust. I mean, there's kind of like a zillion options. So again, just try to do a healthier version, whatever you're trying to focus on for your lifestyle and your nutrition. So,
and I like that you said know what you're putting into it. So try not to just buy all pre-made stuff, but you can get a lot of really healthy things that help cut down the time, but you know what's there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And making healthier snacks. So if you do want to indulge in some of those treats or things that you only have once a year, some of the tips I always tell people for Thanksgiving Day, start with soup. Have like a butternut squash soup or something that's not a huge cream, but then you've got a little bit in your stomach, something in there. If you're going to have a glass of wine before, have a little food in your tummy, right? Eat something like this, or snack on some veggies or hummus if you're going to be prepping during the day in the kitchen, right? So that you're not just like, also eat something during the day. A lot of people are thinking they're going to hold off and not eat anything until like their Thanksgiving dinner.
We talked about that earlier in the show, and that's what I do almost all the time, because I just want to be really hungry to really enjoy it, but that's the wrong
it's like you don't want to show up hangry, right? It's like eat a little something, have something in your tummy, start with soup, go crazy with veggies. Like I always like to, if I think about my plate, I'll put my plate out and I do 50% veggies, and when I do that, I try to focus on what in nutritional terms, they say non-starchy veggies. So think of it like Brussels sprouts, green beans. What other things do we have? Go smaller on like if there's going to be peas, or if there's like winter squash or things like that. Those would be considered more starchy veggies.
Those are great tips. I'm having 20 people, over 20 people in my house for Thanksgiving, and now I'm having to rework the menu in my mind. I'm like, I don't have enough vegetables.
I
don't have a soup to start with, so.
Or a salad.
Salad. I wasn't planning that either.
Okay.
I guess I need to.
I know, it's like rolls, potatoes, everybody's thinking about that. But when you're scooping those out, like your potatoes, I always like to think about like a base, like my fist or smaller or half. Like if you're gonna have, what are some of our favorite things? So yams, like
sweet potato casserole is my favorite. That's like my entire plate.
Right, or the green bean casserole. I actually love a green bean casserole. But those are gonna be considered, think of those like a starchy veg. And so do 50% with your veggies, a little bit of like your turkey, and then the rest, like a quarter of your plate as your starchy stuff. So that's how I like to like manage my plate when I'm doing it. Get some movement in. You shake your booty. Like turn on some music when you're prepping in the kitchen. Make it fun, right?
All right. This is such a fun idea because these are festive but also healthy. So you can still feel like you're enjoying Thanksgiving or as you cook. Can I try one?
Absolutely, please. I love them. They're soft. They're like fudgy. But they're kind of like, you know, people have been talking about fat balls or like the new big thing, you know, for keto. But this could be keto compliant.
They're really pumpkin-y.
Yeah.
How can we get this recipe? Do you have it on?
Yeah, I have it on my blog, on my website. So you can visit www.milkandhoneywellness.com. And then there's a little tab that you can just select blog. It'll be on there. I have tons of recipes and just lots of lifestyle tips to kind of help you live a healthier, happier life. So.
And that's how we can get a hold of you, through the website. If you want more information about what you do, tell us a little more about what you specialize in and what you love to do.
I love helping people create a healthier life for themselves, right? So I love food, and it's not about deprivation or diet culture. It's all about finding those healthy things that you love and, you know, just creating healthier versions of it. So I really work with people I work with autoimmune disorders. I work with a lot of, you know, weight loss, people coming in for that, just IBS, so irritable bowel syndrome, that's a big one. If you're trying to figure out healthier ways of eating gluten-free, or if you do have dietary restrictions, low thyroid, Hashimoto's, lots of things. So, I mean, there's all sorts of factors that affect how we show up in life and having fun and finding joy in our journey. And I'm just here to help you, give you more tools so that you can do that.
This is wonderful, Anne. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah,
one last tip that you mentioned when we were talking about this interview and all this food and these tips was gratitude. How can that help us in a more physical food sense?
Having gratitude for where your food comes, who prepared it, chewing your food, taking some deep breaths, and really giving thanks, it actually on a physiological level will help you digest your food and assimilate the nutrients a lot better even. So it's all mind-body connection, and when you bring yourself to gratitude, you think about all the things that you do have and appreciation, and it helps even just on a physical sense, the food that you eat, and thinking about who grew your food, where did your food come from, connect to that, and give thanks for like who spent the time in the kitchen prepping it, right? That always helps too. So I think it helps with that connection piece, and so much in our society, so many times we're disconnected or just on our phones. So having gratitude brings us back to that place, and I think it's all about today, you know, the Thanksgiving day.
Yes.
So
well, I love that. Thanksgiving
Thank
is
you.
all about gratitude. I guess that's where we need to make sure we land after all the food and everything we have available for us, food, family, fun. Let's make sure we're grateful, and that will help us feel a lot better.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Anne, for joining
thank you
us.
for having me.
She is, again, of Milk and Honey Wellness. We always love having her around, and we've got some fun ideas. I'm going to eat this pumpkin kiss during the break. We'll be back with much more right after these messages.